Hey everybody, this is Colton with POSGuys.com, and today we're going to be taking a look at the TSP100IV SK from Star Micronics. This is their newest printer in their line of linerless sticky receipt printers, and it's built to replace their very popular TSP650II SK line. The printer is built for use in quick service restaurants, cafes, delis, anywhere really where having a sticky repositionable receipts are going to be a thing you might want, especially for things like drink cups and whatnot. As the name of the printer might suggest, it is built on the TSP650IV, which was released a few years ago as well. It's pretty identical in a lot of ways. So if you want to see a deep dive on this printer where we get really into the nitty-gritty, I'm going to throw a link in one of these quarters to the review for the general TSP650IV, but there are a couple key differences. So I'll be highlighting that in this video today. We'll also sort of be looking at more of the sticky receipt printer specific functions on this printer, and we'll kind of compare it to other like printers that Star has produced and then in the market as a whole. So that is a lot to do, so we're going to go ahead, zoom you in, and let's get started. All right, so we're zoomed in here now, got the printer all plugged in, got a tablet right here so that we can do some testing in a little bit. But as I mentioned before, the 100IV SK replaced the TSP650II SK, which was discontinued last year due to some supply chain restraints. In many ways, the hardware between that old model, which I'll have right here, and the new model are very similar. The 100IV is definitely a smaller form factor. It's about 20% smaller, which might be easy if I line these two up right there. There you go. I'll throw some B-roll footage too, so it's a little easier to see. In fact, this is about 20% smaller, and I'm personally a big fan of this printer. I think the look of this is probably the best that Star's ever done. I just like the angles and stuff. I talked about it at great length in that other video. As a general aside, they're both 3-inch printers capable of printing linerless sticky media and regular receipt paper. Both models can print at 7 inches per second. Of note, the regular 100IV can print at almost 10 inches per second. So this printer is definitely a little bit slower, but it's not by much, so you're probably not going to be able to tell in most applications. One big thing to mention here is that the 100IV SK doesn't come equipped with a gap or a black mark sensor, which is pretty much required if you want to print sort of the traditional label die cut media. So that is definitely one thing to consider. If you were looking to print that type of media, you might want to look at the MC Label 3, which I also did a video on, and I'll drop a link to that as well. That's this big guy right here. It's definitely bigger. It's a decent bit more expensive for sure. The 104 here is going to start at about $400, while the MC Label 3 starts at around $550 to $600. But you are getting quite a bit of functionality, and a lot of people do want to print on this sort of linered die cut media. So certainly something to keep in mind. Another big difference between these two models is the lack of an adjustable media hanger. On the MC Label 3, you have these little adjustable hangers here that sort of come down and clamp the media. They're sort of tensioned that way, and I'll drop some B-roll footage so that it's a little easier to see. The 104 can use these little plastic spacers. So they come with these little guys right here, and then these just kind of clip into the printer. So there you kind of have this, and you kind of just pop these guys in these little holes. And I'll, again, throw some more B-roll footage up so that it's a little easier to see. With these media spacers, you have 3 supported sizing options. You're going to get a 3.1 inch, which is the sort of standard without them. That's 80 millimeters. You have a 2.2 inch wide option. That's 58 millimeters. And then a 1.5 inch or 40 millimeter media option. The big perk of having an adjustable media slider like this is that you can use labels of any size, while this kind of restricts you to a couple main sizes. But, that's not a huge surprise that this didn't include it. Most linerless dual-use printers use the spacers. The TSP650 did as well, and the regular 100IV SK also does. So, and all of this is to say the MC Label 3 isn't a great thing to compare it against because it is pretty unique in that sense. But moving back to the TSP650IV here, there are 2 models of the printer. One has USB and Ethernet. The other has an additional Wi-Fi radio for people wanting to do cableless setups. Both come in gray. There is no white model of this printer like the normal TSP100IV. Both the Ethernet only and the Ethernet and Wi-Fi version of the 104 are also going to come with Star's Cloud Print interface. So if you're using a software that does happen to support the Cloud Print receipt printer, you should be able to use this device almost interchangeably. Just, of course, the software actually needs to be programmed to support it. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Both models will also come with an Android Open Accessory port, which allows you to connect any Android device directly to the printer so that it can both charge and communicate directly. In fact, that's actually what I'm doing today. I have this connected via USB-A to this tablet here, and that's how we're going to be doing our testing today. So I wanted to take just a brief moment to show off the printing on this. So when you pop it open for the very first time, you can use your standard linerless, your standard receipt paper here. You can pop that in, and then we can go ahead and do a self-print, a print test. We'll just do a self-printing test here, and it's going to come out with a long list of stuff. It's also super easy to change out to the linerless media. You don't have to adjust any settings on the actual printer itself. So we'll go ahead and use some of this blue core media that Star produces. It has a little bit of a sticky backing. So you just want to roll that up, making sure that you're putting the sticky side on this roller. Otherwise, you're going to get all gunked up. Just click that in. And we'll go ahead. We'll select a printer sample here. And we can do a little graphic receipt. And there you go. If you wanted to switch to a different printer size or a different label size, rather, you can do that as well. So, if you want to print with this particular guy, all you need to go and do is come on over here to this. We'll go ahead and we'll print that. Print out a little POSGuys, and I'll stick that right here. There you go. Got to respect the merch. And then snapping this in is relatively easy. Just want to make sure that you have these little smooth sides in front. There's little holes that these can attach into. So let's see if I can get this on the first try. Sometimes they are a little tricky to snap in. There we go. And then if we take the 1-inch media here, which I have somewhere, here it is. We can go ahead, drop that in, slap this here. And now we can go ahead and print this. Look at that. We'll stick that right there. Beautiful. A few other notes to make on this unit. You're going to see that there's some mounting holes on the bottom here, which I'll try to do a little zoom in so that you can get a better look. They're right there. Those are going to allow you to be able to print this on a wall, mount this to a wall rather, if that's something that you're interested in. There's also a separate buzzer accessory. So if you wanted to use this in a loud environment, like a kitchen or a cafe to print drink tickets, you'll be able to do that. It makes a loud noise to alert people, which some people appreciate. Reliability-wise, this print head on this is rated to work for about 46 miles of printing with a cutter, capable of making about 800,000 cuts. I only bring it up because sticky back media does tend to be a little harder on printer components and can cause them to break down early. In any case, though, this printer does come with a 2-year warranty, which covers all defects with the option to add on additional extended or comprehensive warranties if you're somebody who wants a little bit more peace of mind. And that's about all I have to say on this printer. Overall, I think it's a super solid addition to Star's lineup. The 104 was already a great printer, and just kind of basing the 104 SK on that model already set this up for success. It's definitely an upgrade from the 654 SK. You're not going to get all the really fancy advanced features that you're going to get on the MC label, but for the price that you're paying, you're getting a pretty solid printer that's going to last you quite a while with a great support team. And it just works. Yeah, the 104 SK is obviously pretty new, but we've been selling the 104 to a ton of customers over the last year. We've heard pretty good things all around, so no major complaints. So with that, I'm going to give it this printer the stamp of approval, and that, yeah, definitely worth your time, and definitely worth your money to pick up if you're looking for a linerless option and your software supports it. If you are interested in picking up this printer for yourself, you can definitely give us a call or an email. All of that is on the screen right now, and I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Hope you all have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.